Okay guys, today we're going to look at customary units. We're getting into measurement, so we'll be looking at customary units of measurements and metric. But today we're just going to start looking at customary units, and customary units of length is where we're going to go to. So we have units of length. Is a measure of the length of an object. The common unit of measurement of length, in the customary systems are inches, feet, yards, and miles. So a ruler is a foot. There are 12 inches in a foot. A football field is measured in yards, and the distance from here to Flagstaff is measured in miles. So let's look at some inches. There's 12 inches in 1 foot. So 12 inches equals 1 foot. So 1 ruler is 12 inches. Yards. There are 3 feet in a yard, so 3 feet equals 1 yard, and 36 inches equals 1 yard. So football field, soccer field is measured in yards. Miles. So there are 1,760 yards in a mile. So 1,760 yards equals 1 mile. So like the distance from here to Flagstaff is measured in miles. So if you got to get in the car, chances are it's going to be measured in miles. Would be the best unit of measurement to use. Alright, so if you were going to do some conversions between your feet, miles, and inches, you could, to change the large units to smaller units, you multiply. So if I go from large to small and I multiply, then it makes sense to say that if I go from small to large, that I divide. Or you could use the box method to help you make conversions. So I'm going to show you a couple examples of using the box. Well, maybe. There we go. So conversions between the units of measurement. So if I'm looking at 168 inches and I want to make that into feet, so I have a box set up and put my large unit on top, so feet's on top and inches is on bottom. And so the first part of your box makes the fraction of what an inch is to a foot, or a fraction of whatever the small unit is to that large unit. So it's 1 foot equals 12 inches, so it's 1/12. So 1 inch is 1/12 of a foot. And then on the second side of the box, you put a member of variable. So any member we talked about when we're looking at variables and expressions, any variable will work. So I'm going to use V because I don't know how many feet that they are. It's a blank. And so 168 comes from my problem because I know 168 inches. So if you look, the top part of your box is everything comes from is off in feet. The bottom part's all in inches. The first section of this box can all be found on your formula chart. So then you go and you're going to look at these. So then I'm going to take, and first I need to cross multiply. So I'm going to go from 12 times V, which equals 12 times V, and then 1 times 168. So then I go down next. I can't do 12 times V, but I can do 1 times 68. So 12 times V equals 168. So then to undo division, I need to divide. To undo multiplication, I have to divide. So that leaves me with V, and so I have 168 divided by 12. So 168 divided by 12 is 14. So therefore 168 inches equals 12 feet. Okay? That is the box. So let's look at it if we're going to do conversions between units. This time we're going to go from a larger unit of measurement to a smaller unit of measurement. Alright, same thing. The larger one goes on top, smaller unit goes on bottom because it's 1 yard equals the 3 feet. A foot is a third of a yard. So this all came from my formula chart. This information comes from your problem. I don't know how many feet, so I use a variable, but I know it's 12 yards, so I put in a 12, and then you cross multiply. 3 times 12, 1 times h. So I've got 12 times 3, which equals 1 times h. So 12 times 3 is 36, and then 1 times anything is whatever the other thing is, so 36 equals h. So therefore, 12 yards equals 36 feet. All right. That is the box method. Okay, so that is the end of this video. So be sure that you bring in your question and summary. Remember, summary briefly explaining to me what the video is about. So be sure you tell what it's about and not just say customary length. All right? And then a question that you might have, or a question that someone else might have. Or if you can't think of any of those because it was all very clear to you, then just give me a good question that we could use to quiz people with. All right? See ya tomorrow.